Publish or perish. Choose wisely. Well, it is other people's choice when we decide about your fate. Academic publishing is mostly a painful experience of rejections and disappointments. I have worked in academia for close to 20 years. As people following this channel will know, I collect data on everything, including my publishing activities. This video will discuss a few key publication strategies based on my empirical evidence. It is important to be honest. I was lied to all the time. When I struggled to publish my first papers, senior academics told me that they never get rejected by academic journals. That is either a lie or they have not tried hard enough to get into the top journals. Let's start with some honest facts. Rejections are the norm. Expect them, cherish them, and most importantly, do not take them personally. This mindset does not help. One needs to note that in top-tier journals, acceptance rates are well below 5%. So you can calculate the odds, assuming your paper is of average quality. The process starts with a decision to desk reject a paper, which means that the editor decided not to send it out for review. The main reasons for desk rejects include topic choice and journal fit, the lack of contribution, and poor execution, which includes writing. In this video I will focus on the UK case. Of course, there are substantial differences between the US and UK systems. In the UK, we do not have tenure anymore, and the system does not have a proper tenure track in the US sense. To get a lectureship, you first need to attract an offer. In my field, finance, the so-called ABS journal ranking list is the norm. It does not matter what I think about the ABS list, but I know based on experience that 2 outputs at the ABS 3 level are needed to get an interview in many places. After getting hired, the clock starts as new hires have to pass probation, which is usually 3 years. In most places, having 2 ABS 3 outputs is sufficient to tick the research box during probation. Later, when it comes to academic promotions, output always matters. For a senior lectureship, one would expect 1 ABS 4 and maybe 6 up to 8 ABS 3 outputs. For a professorship, 2 ABS 4s tend to be needed for an interview. Of course, additional factors matter, including research income and impact. Teaching, to be honest, is less of a concern. I have published in economics, finance, management, and applied mathematics. There are subject-specific differences. For instance, the expected number of outputs varies between disciplines. I strongly recommend collecting data to analyze my failures. You need to understand the underlying factors that lead to rejections. But honestly, there is a lot of noise in the academic review process. It is to a significant extent random. I cannot honestly state that working harder and hence increasing your input leads to a better outcome. It is more of a numbers game. You need a certain number of papers under review at any point in time to guarantee about 2 outputs per year on average, which should be your target. My data suggests that acceptance rates are somewhere between 20% to 25%, and it takes about 4 attempts on average to get a paper published. You need to review the quality of outputs. It is pointless to publish in predatory journals that charge substantial publication fees. The journal needs to have a strong reputation and ideally it is listed on one of the journal rankings. Have a look at Professor Hartzing's website if you want to know more about journal rankings. End of the day, journal rankings matter. Honestly, nobody has the time to read your papers. It is much easier to check the perceived quality of a journal. So no matter what I think about journal rankings, I have to track the output and I have to assess my quality based on them. Where to publish? I cannot say that publishing in applied mathematics is easier, as it takes me a lot more time to finish a paper. So there are trade-offs, and obviously not everyone can publish across disciplines. I will do another video about interdisciplinary research. Journal rankings distort this picture. It is well known that finance journals are harder to publish in compared to management journals. There are different reasons to get rejected as well. For instance, in management, the focus is a lot on theory development, but theory sadly does not mean a mathematical model. The importance of co-authors cannot be overstated. You need to develop your own networks, work with people, and most importantly, learn from them. Now you might wonder whether things get better over time. My data suggests not really. Is it me or an increase in competition? Is it my strategy or the lack of any strategy? Without a doubt, competition has increased over time, and topic choice really matters. Your timing matters. In summary, what are my recommendations after almost 20 years of doing academic research? You need a research pipeline to ensure a more or less steady stream of outputs. You need at least 4 papers under review at any point in time. In fact, earlier in my academic life, I had up to 10 papers under review at any point in time. This requires being very systematic about the research process. First, I suggest collecting ideas. I keep notes and track all my thoughts. There are not that many of them, so it's easy to do. Second, you need to develop a habit of monitoring topics. What is exciting right now? Maybe green finance or sustainability. So have a look at recent outputs and Google Trends. Third, I always collect data and learn new methods. It is essential to maintain this habit of learning and constant improvement. If you want to learn more about data analysis, visit our website on www.unikarn.com. Fourth, do not go it alone. Co-authors are essential in this process. Working together on problems is a lot more fun and a lot more successful. Finally, you need to let it go. The strategy is to start with a top journal and go down the ranks after rejections. But at one point a paper is finished. It is better to cut your losses. Always think about sunk costs in the process of doing research. In my case, about 20% of papers never get published for various reasons. If you want to eliminate any uncertainty about whether your paper gets rejected or not, I recommend submitting to the Journal of Universal Rejection. Rejection is guaranteed. I hope this was helpful. Please leave any comment if you have any question. Like and share to spread the joy of data analysis. Enjoy your research. I see you next time.